Hello percussionists, my name's Brendan Thompson, and in this video we're going to be talking about some specific tips and tricks for timpani and auxiliary percussion. When it comes to timpani, there's one very important element that we haven't talked about yet, and that is tuning. When we're tuning timpani, the first thing we need to do is figure out what pitch or what note we're trying to get on the drum. So to figure out that pitch or that note, a great way to do that is head over to the mallet instruments and play that note on mallets. Then what you're going to want to do is either hum that note or just try to remember that note in your head and come back over to the timpani. And to tune the timpani, we use the pedals. So you're going to take the pedal and put it so that the heel is all the way to the floor. So the drum is going to be at its lowest possible note. Then the next step is going to be to put your ear to the drum and just tap the drum lightly. Then while the drum is ringing, you're going to move that pedal up and slide that pitch up until it reaches that note that you've been humming or that note that you've been remembering in your head. Once it gets there, you can just double check that you're correct, and then you have successfully tuned the timpani. Proper tuning on timpani is incredibly important, but it's also really tricky to get in the hang of. So practicing matching pitch and practicing tuning the timpani and tuning these drums is a really important thing. For auxiliary percussion, when it comes to kind of tips and tricks, my best tip would be to treat these instruments with just as much care as we treat instruments like snare drum and mallets and timpani. And what I mean by that is sometimes the parts that we play on these instruments, we don't give them as much care and attention as, the parts that we sometimes think of as like, the really cool snare drum part or the challenging mallet part. Sometimes we can kind of think of these parts as, oh, I've got the easy triangle part or the simple bass drum part. These parts are all really important and they deserve just as much care and attention as any of the other parts in band. So just kind of think about that next time you get to play these instruments and think about how well you can play them and how great of sounds you can make on them. And I think in the end, it'll actually make these instruments really enjoyable to play. So, hopefully that helps, and those are my tips and tricks for timpani and auxiliary percussion.